give the floor to Dr. Fahad Alsuhaimy from the Ministry of Education in Saudi Arabia. Dr. Fahad is a job doctor for assessment and admission. He is a professor assistant in Taiba University in Medina, and he holds a PhD from the University of Kansas in the United States. So another model of a strong countries in education, Saudi Arabia. So the floor is yours, Dr. Fahad.
Thank you, Professor Ahmed, and it's fine with me to start with women. I'm happy with that. So at least I will prepare myself. So thank you for having me. It's a pleasure for me to be with you and presenting the Minister of Education in Saudi Arabia. First of all, I would like to thank you and also our colleagues in ETEC on behalf of the Excellency of the Minister of Education and his Vice Minister and all of the leaders in the Ministry of Education. Actually, today we are going to talk about the Saudi Arabia and how we look at the result of the international assessment. It's very important at the beginning when we talk about the reforming of education. We know that the discussion will not be finished, and there is no magic solution to reform the education for everyone. I mean, it's like there is no one solution, but the first step that we need to do is to know the reality and to share the reality with everyone at all levels, at the leaders, at the Ministry of Education, and also the districts at our education, and also the principals in the schools and teacher. Because as we know, without sharing the reality with them and talk about it, there is no way to build the vision or to do any kind of reforming. It's very important to know the Ministry of Education in Saudi Arabia, it's like the education itself, it's centralized with 47 districts and more than 5,500,000 students and 500,000 teachers, all those clusters inside the more than 293 offices and 25,000 schools. Actually, as we know, in terms of education, I'm not sure if it's moving to the next. Okay, it's very important to know the reality is everywhere. So the score, the data is everywhere to everyone to see it and to share it and to his point of view based on what they are, how they see those data and how they analyze it. In Saudi Arabia, I'm going to show you how we look at it at the Ministry of Education, how we see the reality and how we are going to work in those reality to improve our education system. The first piece I'm going to share, it's about our data in Saudi Arabia. And 20 years ago, since we participated in TIMSS since 2003 and with also visa and BERLS. Since that time until now, we continuing participating in those international assessment. As you see, the piece in front of you, we have 12 years students they are spent in the schools, but in reality, based on data, we have only 7.9 of years that students are really acquire, and also they have from those schools based on the skills and knowledge they have from those schools. So we can see, comparing to Japan, we have about 4 years missing in our school system. It's linked with the quality of the system, quality inside, quality of the education in Saudi Arabia, generation over generation. So we can see that in visa, our score, it's below the minimum level. This is the PISA result in Saudi Arabia comparing to some other countries in reading and also math and science and also in TIMSS. In TIMSS, we can see there is a big improvement between 2015 and 2019, but this improvement still, it's below the average, it's at the low level, and if there is no change inside the system, the score will be the same. There would be no change inside the system, and the student we will not have any improvement. Also, when we look at the reading in barrels, we will participate in barrels in a few months, and the score between 2011 till 2016, it's stable, it's the same, and it's still very low. We think it's we can do more, we can do better than that. We have a very good teachers, and also we have a very good budget to do good thing inside our school. Actually, as we know, score, it's still a score, but what's behind that score, it's the knowledge and the skills that our nation and our students they know and they learn and they know how to do it. As we see in the piece of information that in front of us, 52 of the students in Saudi Arabia in the last PISA assessment below the minimum proficiency test. So I mean the minimum proficiency of that assessment, PISA assessment, which means our students only know little information, not high information, not high skills in reading. They don't know how to use complex text to in their life to answer some situations that they might be in. In math, it's worse than reading. 70% of our students, they are below the minimum proficiency. Also, in science, we have the same thing, similar to math. Our students in reading, math, and science, when they reach the 15 years old, they don't have the minimum proficiency that we supposed to have. We're supposed to prepare our student for. In terms of economic, what does that mean? I really like to thank the OECD for this piece of information. It gives us a lot of information. We can see the regression line between the score in reading and also the GDP, the pure capital GDP in Saudi Arabia. So we can see our capital GDP, it's $55,000. So we're supposed to be based on that. And based on the regression line, our score supposed to be with Germany, Canada, Australia, Finland, all those countries. But the reality here is where our score, and here's the reality that we really have, and we talk about that at all levels inside the ministry, and also with the leaders in the field of the education, and we discuss all those information and how can we improve our education based on the information that we really have. The first thing that we find in our education system, we are lack of the national assessment for all schools. We don't have any kind of national assessment that have all the schools to assist them in basic knowledge in math, reading, science. It's very difficult for schools and for teachers and everyone to work, and they don't know what the result of their work. So building and doing the national assessment for the whole schools, it's the first thing we're supposed to do. And this is what we started with in 2019. We assess all schools in math, science, and reading in the 3rd grade, 6th grade, and also the 8th grade. Just I'm going to share you one piece of information from that test. As we see at the high of at the top of this presentation, you can see the distribution of the students according to our achievement test. and at the bottom of the presentation, you can see how the student inside the classroom assists those students. We have the same student. We link those scores together. We assess the same skills that the teacher assists. We can see our teacher said 68% of our students, they are doing well in reading. And all of them, they have acquire all the information and the skills they have. But when we do our test, we find that only 9% of those students, I mean, it's like they have those skills they supposed to have. When we share all this information with the schools and with the teachers, the second job we're supposed to have, and this is what we have like a challenge to do it every day and every time we are working with our teachers inside the school to talk together, to talk about the students' result, to talk about how should we improve the student skills. We are going to continue those tests at the end of each year, and also we are working with the ETEC to do the national assessment for all schools in Saudi Arabia, and we have a great plan with our colleagues in ETEC to assess all of our schools every 3 or 4 years so we can have a mirror for each school. So each principal, they will have a plan to improve their schools, and also at the district level, they will have the plan to improve their student skills based on their result and the reality they have inside their school. And also, actually, we have the Saudi vision. The Saudi vision, it's very important for us to, as a guidance, as a visions, we work on it toward 2030. It has most of it. It's about human, how to improve the human as a resources inside the country. When we look at the Saudi vision, we can see how the education, it's the first thing we will talk about it in Saudi vision, and it's one of the principle in the Saudi vision. As we know, 2 weeks ago, Prince Mohammed bin Salman, he established the capability program for the Saudi vision, and most of it, it's about education. Most of it, it's about human and how can we improve their skills. Here's some examples of the developmental that generally we are working on it right now. And since 2 years ago, we start working it so hard actually with the curriculum development and also the professional license and the educational professional development. Since the education system started, we don't have any license for the teacher. Starting from a few months ago, we do the professional license for all teachers. So all teachers must have their license to be a teacher inside schools. And also we increase the enrollment in early childhood. When we look at the TIMSS result and PISA and BERLS, we can find that students with early childhood, they have higher score when they reach at the 4th or the 8th or the 9th grade. So we improve and we increase the enrollment of early childhood stage from 10% 3 years ago, and right now we reach the 25%, and we are going to have the 95% with the 2030, which means like it will improve the student skills very well. And also we will have the assessment for accountability. As we said, we will have those, when we say accountability, it does not mean it's like punish or doing any kind of that. It's like giving the teacher and also giving the principals their reality. Here's the students, here's what they can do and what they learned last year. And we will ask them to do the plan for their students for the next year so we can improve their skills. And also we refer the early childhood stage to all women. So the first grade, the second grade, the third grade, by 2025, they will be taught by female teachers. I mean the male students. You can see in front of you, we have like 12 justification why we will have our development of studying and the plan for our curriculum, to improve our curriculum, to improve our system very well, so we can see the Saudi vision will guide us to improve our system and to improve the skills of our students. One of the main things that we did last year, it's to change from 2 semesters to 3 semesters. It's only administration way to move from 2 semesters to 3 semesters. It's not like about the number of semesters, but it's about how to use the days for learning. As we see before, we have like only 154 days. You can imagine that we use the chain of MicroHealth for mathematics and science, which taught in Germany and also in Canada and United States. The days there, it's 180. In Finland, 189, while we have only 154. So teacher, for example, in math and science, they don't have time to give the student chance to learn, to learn by themselves, to do some exercise, to do some application about what they have taught. So students only take the lessons without doing any kind of learning inside the classroom. So right now we don't have like more, we don't have more of objectives in our curriculum. It's still the same. We improve it. We have it better, but we will have more time for teachers and also for students to work for learning. And also we have add more new curriculum in our system. We have digital skills starting from the 4th grade, and also the English. It will start from the 1st grade, and we are going to move and improve our curriculum and our system year by year until we improve the student skills, so we will have our students ready for the future, to lead our future. This is what we have for today, and thank you for having us today. And we are happy and we are ready for any question. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Fahad, for this extensive presentation, which really gives us a very clear idea about also the model of Saudi Arabia in the tests, and how actually the findings reflected the realities of the education system, and how also the education authorities dealt with these findings and these results within the framework of the vision. And of course, at ICESCO, we really welcomed very much the initiative of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince about the National Capacity Building Program. And we really believe that it will be a strong support not only to ICESCO and to the international organizations working in the field of education and in the field of capacity building, but it will be also really a strong added value to also the national policies in Saudi Arabia. I think that what also you presented goes in line with the presentation of our actually keynote speaker, Andreas Schleicher, when he spoke about the challenges facing the test and how you discover new realities when actually you make the test, and how the situation changes. And you remember that he gave the example of the education system in Germany, where there was a sort of really an image about the system, and then when the assessment and when the testing was made, there were many what we could call details. The also speech of the Vice Minister of Korea was really very enlightening in this in this regard, and especially when you spoke about the journey, because actually it is a journey, it is a process where you have the steps and where you have the targets and goals.